Parents, welcome to the 2020-2021 school year. My name is Gabe Lutz, and I'll be teaching your student geometry this year. The past 5 years, I've been the building substitute here at Lee Summit High School, filling in a number of different roles, but I've been the primary math department substitute and long-term substitute in the math department. As a long-term sub, I was in a number of different classes: pre-calculus, college algebra, algebra 2, and even in a geometry class over the spring when COVID hit. So I've already had a lot of fun with the virtual setting in geometry. A little bit more about myself. I am the head boys cross-country coach and one of the assistant boys track coaches, and I've been coaching in those programs for the last 11 years. So if you would like to volunteer your athlete or your student for cross-country or track, please reach out, especially with cross-country right now being mid-season, but with the current situations, we're a little bit more flexible. So reach out and we can discuss if it makes sense to have your student join mid-season. With that, also, if your student isn't interested in any other sports and hasn't reached out yet, please do. The coaches may be flexible with the current situation. It just doesn't hurt to ask. What I want to do is go through a quick rundown of what Schoology looks like, what your student will be seeing or expect to see, and a little bit of the course syllabus as well. So let me hop down here. And here we have our Schoology homepage. So they can access their courses either through the course dashboard or through the Courses tab at the top of the screen. Here you can see I'm teaching geometry in first and second hour, and then I have an online geometry as well. So let's look first at the course syllabus. All right, we'll just cover the important stuff. So what does a typical day look like in this virtual setting? So a typical day in geometry, while virtual, will begin with attendance through a Google form. Those Google Forms will have their own folder in their Schoology course page, and they need to be completed by 2 p.m. that day. That'll give me time to get all attendance entered for that day, but they won't necessarily have to have it in during that allotted class period time of first hour or second hour. Online geometry does not need to do the Google form, but virtual first and second hour do. That is also going to be how we'll take attendance for the virtual portion of the hybrid schedule whenever we move to that. And then after that, their expectations are to watch any note videos that are posted that day and work on any homework assignments assigned that day. Some days we will have required Google Meet sessions where we'll run through some examples on the smartboard, whiteboards. Students will need to show their own responses, chime in, and ask questions as well as show their work. And those will be, I'll actually take some participation points on those days, but that will not be every day. Those days that I do not have those required Google Meet sessions, I will still have a Google Meet open for any students to come in and ask questions about their homework for that day. All right, let's scroll down to the assessment plan and grading policy. Our test and quizzes will be worth 60% of their 18-week grade, and their homework will be worth 40% of their 18-week grade. And then the final exam will be 10% of the semester grade. So that's a little different. The 60% and the 40% will go together to make the 90% of the overall semester grade, and then 10% will be the final on top of that. So you're getting your 100% from the 90% of that, and 10% from the finals. Tutoring and extra help. You or your students can email me any time of the day. If you send me an email before 2:30, I will respond that day whether it's a little after 2:30 or after practice on a day whenever I'm able to get to it, but I will respond that day as long as your email has been sent before 2:30. If not, I'll send a reply the next day. Tutoring sessions, I'll post office hours in Google Meet and have different tutoring sessions, different various times throughout the week to allow students plenty of opportunities to get help and ask questions and have those questions answered. Extra attempts on homework. So especially in the virtual setting, we'll have all of our assignments on Schoology. Those assignments on Schoology will allow 2 attempts, and their highest score will be kept. So a couple different ways the student can approach that. They can watch the notes videos, do the assignment, see their grade, see that it wasn't 100%, maybe watch the notes videos again, go over the notes or the filled in notes, and try and take it again and improve and take that higher score. Or they can keep their second attempt if they were okay with that first one and save it for the test quiz time. So when test quiz comes around, they could go back and take that second attempt as extra practice. And if their score happens to be higher, they'll get that higher score as well. So either way, it's beneficial to use both attempts, but they need to be done before that end of the unit, and that takes us to late work. Work will be considered late regardless of what appears on Schoology at the end of the unit. So once the unit test is completed, all missing homework assignments will be late. So no late work will be accepted after the test. And so all of our assignments in Schoology have due dates on them, but that's mainly just for my grading purposes to allow them to populate in PowerSchool properly. So they may say late, as long as we're still in the unit, they can still submit those. If the unit is done, we've taken the test, it's time to move on to the next unit, they can't submit those assignments anymore. Makeup work is primarily for an in-person setting. There could be certain circumstances you may still be too sick to get work done on time at home. Just communicate that, and we can work around that. Supplies needed, everyone's required to have excuse me, an EMR pen, which is a stylus that works on a Chromebook. Not all styluses work on Chromebook screens. Those can be pre-ordered through the school. They are $18, and if you don't already have one, there's a pre-order form here, a link right here to order one of those EMR pens, and they'll hopefully be in, and they can hopefully be in within the first couple of weeks. We will have homework questions where they'll be required to write on the screen with their stylus pen. They can use a finger, but that can be very messy. And when you need to draw images, sometimes that can be a challenge. Pencils, still great to have. They'll still need to do workout problems on their own, on notebook paper, have pencils for that. Pens when we're in person for grading, if we have paper assignments. They'll need a 3-ring binder just for this class where they can put their notes. I'll have note packets for each unit like this. There's your Unit 1 note packet. It'll be 3-hole punched, and they can put that in their 3-ring binder and have all of their notes in one place. Scientific calculator, just doing any math sometimes is nice to have a calculator nearby, and a Chromebook. Obviously, everybody should have one of those as well. Class expectations. A lot of these are in-person specific, but a lot of them extend to the virtual realm as well. You know, being an active learner, being respectful, being responsible, relating to discussion, relating classroom discussion to the classroom topics, not talking while others are talking, and that can become an issue in a Google Meet classroom setting as well. Cell phone policy and electronics policy, they need to be, this is mainly in person as well, although having your phone put away during a Google Meet session is polite. But for in-person, the phones need to be put away in a bag during the lesson until I have given the assignment and they're working independently on their own. Then they can get out their headphones and listen to music. But texting is still not allowed. And here is also a link for the online textbook. Our online textbook, there are a few to choose from in there. The one we have in class is the Geometry 2007 edition. And so that is the link to that. That is the syllabus. And then just a quick overview of what the Schoology class will look like. They will have each unit listed here. Within that unit, there'll be a folder for videos, assignments, filled-in notes, and for the in-person classes, I will also have an attendance Google Form folder as well. That's all I have. Parents, thank you for stopping by for back-to-school night. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you.